What I wish I knew at the start. The Iran-Israel standoff isn't just about missiles and headlines. It's a complex, multi-layered conflict that's been simmering for decades, shaping the very fabric of the Middle East and influencing global politics in ways that often go unnoticed. Beneath the surface, it's a story of shifting alliances, deep-rooted rivalries, and the constant threat of escalation that could draw in the world's major powers. It's about power shifts, proxy wars, and a new kind of global risk. The stakes are far higher than most realize, with every move sending shockwaves through international markets, security alliances, and even the daily lives of people far from the region. The Iran-Israel rivalry is a chess game played on multiple boards: military, economic, cyber, and diplomatic all at once. Let's break it down. For decades, Iran and Israel fought a shadow war. Think cyber attacks, spies, and proxy militias like Hamas and Hezbollah. These weren't just isolated incidents. They were part of a broader strategy to undermine each other's influence without triggering all-out war. Cyber attacks targeted critical infrastructure, intelligence agencies played a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, and proxy groups waged battles in the streets of Gaza, Lebanon, and beyond. The game changed in October 2023 when Hamas attacked Israel, setting off a wave of open conflict across the Middle East. Suddenly, what had been a shadowy behind-the-scenes struggle erupted into the open, with devastating consequences for civilians and governments alike. The world watched as cities came under fire, and the risk of a wider regional war became all too real. Iran's axis of resistance, its network of allies, has crumbled. Once, Iran could count on a web of loyal proxies and partners to project its power and challenge Israel indirectly. But after months of relentless conflict, that network is in tatters, leaving Iran more isolated than ever before. Hamas and Hezbollah are battered, Syria's Assad regime collapsed, and the Houthis are largely neutralized. The devastation in Gaza and Lebanon is a stark reminder of the human cost, while the fall of Assad's regime in Syria has removed a key Iranian ally from the equation. The Houthis, once a disruptive force in Yemen and the Red Sea, have been pushed to the sidelines. Israel, meanwhile, gained the upper hand, launching direct strikes inside Iran, hitting nuclear sites and eliminating top leaders. These bold operations have not only weakened Iran's military capabilities, but also sent a clear message to Tehran and the world. Israel is willing to take unprecedented risks to ensure its security. Iran has fought back with missile attacks, but its options are shrinking. Each retaliatory strike has been met with overwhelming force, and the cost of escalation grows higher with every exchange. Iran's leaders now face a dilemma: continue a fight they're losing, or seek a way out before the consequences become catastrophic. Most of its proxies are out of action, and its missile stockpiles are low. Years of sanctions, battlefield losses, and targeted strikes have left Iran's military stretched thin. The once feared network of regional militias is now a shadow of its former self, and the country's ability to project power beyond its borders is severely diminished. Attacking US assets or blocking oil routes could trigger global chaos, but also massive retaliation. The Strait of Hormuz remains one of the world's most critical choke points for oil, and any disruption there would send energy prices soaring and economies reeling. Yet any such move would almost certainly provoke a devastating response from the US and its allies. The US has already joined the fight, with airstrikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. Washington's involvement signals that this is no longer a regional conflict. It's a crisis with global implications. The Pentagon's message is clear. The world will not stand by if nuclear weapons or vital energy supplies are threatened. World leaders are worried about energy prices, nuclear risks, and the Middle East spiraling out of control. The G7 and other international bodies are scrambling to contain the fallout, but the situation remains volatile. Protests have erupted across the region, and the fear of nuclear escalation hangs over every diplomatic meeting. Israel is ascendant, Iran is isolated, and the stakes have never been higher, not just for them, but for the world. The outcome of this crisis will shape the future of the Middle East, impact global security, and determine whether the world can avoid a catastrophic war. As the dust settles, one thing is clear: the Iran-Israel conflict is no longer a distant headline, it's a defining challenge for our time.